This is a Cincy fan talking with LP. You can catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. You say it like it sounds, just leave off the G. If you have ideas for the show, you can reach me at Cincy_fan talk at yahoo.com. If you have any suggestions for the show, make sure you leave them there. Who knows, you might find yourself as part of the show. Any feedback would be definitely appreciated. And also, make sure you hit the Linktree page that's on my Twitter. Make sure you click on that. You can find all the different ways to contact me there. Enjoy the show. What's up? What's going on, everybody out there in Podcastville? Welcome to another episode of a Cincy Fan Talking with LP. And of course, this is your boy LP. Appreciate you coming through, sitting with your boy for a spell. 100% appreciate you for that. We're going to jump into a lot of football-ish talk today. It's football, but it is more like the stuff that happens through football, more football in life. That's kind of what we on. Like I said last week, like football is everything in America. Like it's definitely America's game, and you can learn a lot from the way people treat football and football teams and football players. So we're gonna kind of jump into that today. Um, First off, I see a lot of people catapulting right off that Bengals bandwagon. Can't say I necessarily blame you for that. The Bengals, I wouldn't even call this a L. This was a L. Like this was a super duper L. This was a L of ugly proportions. Went out here and got scuffed up 41-16. And I was saying this on Twitter. And I've been saying this on the pod for the longest. Rarely does a team get blown out. You can always kind of point to 4 or 5 different plays, and those plays typify the game. The team that makes those plays, that's the squad that's coming out with the day. The squad that doesn't, they taking the L. And in that first half with the Bengals, there were a couple of plays that basically ended the game. Real talk. I wouldn't even say the first half, throughout the whole game. You got Joe and the boys driving down the field, first drive of the game. And this is a Cleveland team that's been reeling all through the week, all types of crazy stuff happening. So when you run down the field, first drive of the game, you making it known like, yeah, it's about to be a bad day for y'all, just like it's been a bad week for y'all. That interception was bad. And you ride with Joe. Joe Burrow is the man, and he's gonna win a lot of games for the Bengals. But every now and again, you look at a throw that he makes and go like, "Damn, you really did that? You really threw that pass? Seriously?" And I feel like with the really good quarterbacks, they do this. They feel like they can make any throw and get it done. They have that confidence in themselves. And every now and again it comes through to bite them in the ass. And that's basically what happened. Then you had Samaje Perine drop a third down pass right there in his hands, dropped it. Now I'm not about to sit up here and be like, man, I could have caught that. I don't know. Doubt it. But you gotta secure it. And he'd probably be like, I should have caught that. And they had to give the ball up. 2 plays later, touchdown Browns. It was stuff like that was happening all game. And second bad loss in a row. Last week was a bad loss to the Jets. This week is a bad loss to the Browns. And you got people wondering, like, dang, is this really who the Bengals are? I say no. Because you had a 7-game stretch where the Bengals played extremely well. And I can't just take the 7 games away because they had 2 bad games. That really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But you'll see a lot of people going, man, well, same old Bengals, same old Bengals after 2 bad games. So the 7 games before didn't build enough goodwill for you. So now 2 bad games and all of a sudden the Bengals trash. And I get it. It really has to do more with what the Bengals have done in the past couple of years than it does in the past 9 games. I get that. But at some point, you got to be willing to go like, look, I think this team can get it done. And you can't let 1 or 2 games sway you. If this becomes a long pattern, it'll play itself out and boom, you see what it is. But it's such a reactionary league. Fans are so reactionary. It's like, dang, bad game. Oh, we trash forever. People got us figured out. One good game. Yep, Super Bowl. Going down the list of teams we're gonna play. Win, win, win. And it's I feel like it's because the NFL is basically 17 1 week seasons. And you get the win, you're on cloud nine, you take the L, and it's a wrap. But since you play on Sundays, you play once a week, so you don't have those other games in the middle to make you feel like, okay, they're gonna get it together. You gotta wait until the next week to see what happens. And in the Bengals case, you gotta wait 2 weeks. It has to absolutely suck playing 2 straight bad games. Well, a bad fourth quarter and then an entire bad game, and then you have to wait for 2 weeks to play again. That gotta be tough. But I mean, it just goes to show you in this league, you got to strap it up. You got to play every single week because if you don't, somebody come up and they'll bite you. That's how it go. For me, I feel like the defense will get better. You and Bengals fans might not want to hear this, but the Cleveland Browns offensive line is like one of the best in the league. They really are. And the defense has to bring it. They didn't against the Browns. They got to step it up when they play Vegas. I feel like things will get a little bit better for them as far as how they play. The schedule's going to get a lot tougher. I said this at the very beginning of the year. After the bye week, the Bengals get a lot of home games, but their home schedule is more difficult than their road schedule. It's tremendously difficult. So the home games are a blessing, but they're also a curse because you have some really good teams coming into Cincinnati to play. And the Bengals need to be ready. Still got Baltimore, still got Pittsburgh, you got KC coming in. I mean, it's going to be some tough games. So the Bengals got to be ready. I feel like they'll be okay. I feel like this will be a 10-win season. I see them going 10-7. I feel like they can pick up 5 more wins. And with the way the AFC is set up, all of these teams with the winning records, they're going to fall off because they play each other. And the Bengals are one of those teams. So if the Bengals can get to 10 wins, I feel like they can make the playoffs. I don't know about the division. I feel like you might have to win 11 or 12 to get the division. So as of right now, as of the day and date I'm saying this, I feel like the Bengals will be fine. I feel like they still have everything in front of them, but they got to win. And if they don't happen to make the playoffs, they'll be pissed off because of the Green Bay game, and they'll be pissed off because of the Jets game. Those are 2 games that they probably should have won. And if they did, we'd be looking at a team that's 7-2 right now. So, hey, you know what they say? If some buzz with candy and nuts, right? So, hey, we'll see what happens. Not this week, but next week. And then you got the Bearcats. Man, like, imagine you being a kid. Like, imagine you being a child, and your peoples tell you got to clean your room. You clean your room, you get $25. I don't know about y'all, but let me be a 10 or 11-year-old with $25. I'm buying the bar. Like me and all my friends, we all eating. candy and chips, of course. But we eating for days for $25. Like you can't tell us nothing. So you clean your room, you get $25. You finish cleaning your room. You go to your people's like, oh, I'm done. Where my bread at? They go like, oh yeah, well you gotta do the dishes too. Okay, no problem. I got you. I got you covered. And I got the dishes. Up, where my bread at? Did you get the living room cleaned up? Dang. All right. Let me go ahead and knock out the living room real quick. Knock that out. Just so I don't have no beef. I check my room. I check the dishes, make sure it's all good. I'm like, hey, what's up, peoples? Clean the living room, clean my room, clean the dishes. Where my bread at? Whoa. Pump your brakes, LP. I need you to get the bathroom. What did you say bathroom? Did you say bathrooms plural? Yeah, you gotta get those bathrooms. Then you get to 25. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I got the bathrooms, and I got the half and the full, whatever. So knocked out the bathrooms, knocked out my room, knocked out the living room, knocked out the dishes. Where my bread at? Where the money at? Where the money at? Whoa, pump your brakes, LP. I need you to get that grass cut. And at some point, you realize you're not getting $25. You're not getting paid. It's not happening for you. So you got some choices. It's either you approach somebody else about getting paid, or you just basically stop cleaning up and say, forget it, I'm watching TV, you're not paying me anyway. I just described what the Cincinnati Bearcats are going to go through in order to never make the college football playoff. I don't see it happening for them. As good as they are, it won't be their fault. It will be because the committee will do exactly what a parent would do in this situation. They're going to find ways to move the goalpost and make it so that they can't get in. Think about it. Just think about this for a second. Last year, the Bearcats went, I think, 8-0 or something like that. And then they missed the college football playoff. Not only did they miss it, but they finished in the position where they had two teams with two losses in front of them. Now, where they do that at? Like, that's absolutely crazy. And I'm a Buckeyes fan to the core, but when you grow up in the soil, when you grow up in Cincinnati, you're a fan of the college teams here because the college teams have always been good, especially the basketball teams, when the Reds and the Bengals are trash. So you find yourself rooting for Xavier, for UC, because that's what you do when you live in Cincinnati. So the Bearcats got jumped by two teams with two losses. And they were told, this is what everybody was saying. You need to have a better schedule. You need to win all your games. And you need to make sure you win those games against those non-conference teams that are really, really good. You do that, boom, you win. So the Bearcats schedule Indiana and beat Indiana at Indiana. And I know Indiana's down this year, but you can't really control what happens with the non-conference teams. You schedule them when they're good, and then you try to beat them. Then they go to Notre Dame and beat Notre Dame. And Notre Dame right now is sitting here with one loss in contention for the college football playoff. And then UC goes forward and they beat everybody on their schedule so far. And for this, they end up in sixth place behind teams that have one loss. And the teams that are behind them, some of them have no losses, and they could end up passing them because of their quote unquote schedule. And at some point, the Bearcats got to be like, look, it's not happening for us. All of the group of five teams have to feel like this. No matter what we do, we're going to get something held against us. And you got to understand that there's a monopoly against these teams. There really is. There's no way moving forward for them to make the college football playoff. I mean, in order for them to make it, they will have to have 3 or 4 teams in their conference that are really, really good. But that can't happen because they all beat up on each other. So how do you get a conference up to snuff against a Power 5 conference when all of the teams in the conference are trying to make a name for themselves by beating each other? So you're only going to have one, maybe 2 teams in that conference that are really, really good anyway. Boom, you beat those teams. You get the rest of the conference held against you because it's a bad conference. When you have all of these other conferences with really, really trash teams, but for some reason the top teams are better than the top teams in the other conferences. I mean, for me, if I'm in a group of five, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make our own playoff. It's the only way to, one, build your own revenue scale, because who's not paying to like broadcast a playoff, especially a group of five playoff where you can prove who's the best in that group. And for two, it really gives them something to play for, because there's nothing there's no way to get to the CFP if you're a group of five conference. I really want UC to make it because I feel like they deserve it. I mean, they even showed last year they could play with the big boys and they almost beat Georgia. But to see UC make the CFP would mean that they're recognizing teams like UC as being on the same level as an Ohio State, as an Alabama, as a Georgia, as a whoever. I just don't see it happening. Even if the Bearcats win all of their games and they get all of the style points, something else is going to be used against them, because I just don't think the powers that be want to see group of five teams in the college football playoff. I don't think they want to see it. They want teams with fan bases. They want teams that could bring revenue onto the games and onto the college football sport. And I don't think that they think a team like UC or a team like UCF or a team like Houston, I don't think they feel like they can do that. And the messed up part is they're not giving them a chance to prove that they can do that stuff. So it's gonna be this. It's gonna be the same old thing, and then you'll see them expand to 12, and then you'll see one group of five team in it, and they'll never, ever, ever get a bid that's an at-large bid or anything like that. It's just another way to get more Power Five teams into the playoff, and then you can get more head coaches to keep their jobs. You can get more of these schools to get dough. It's really, really messed up when you think about it. If I'm in a group of five, I'm like, we need our own playoff. I mean, it sounds simple, but I'm sure that these schools are getting a pretty good piece of the pie to not do that. I just don't see how it's in their benefit to stay in a system where they'll never get recognized. I mean, it's just like the scenario when I'm like, you keep cleaning and you keep cleaning and you're not getting rewarded. So at some point, you got to realize that you're only benefiting the person that you're working for. You're not benefiting yourself. And until you change that whole scenario, I won't say you get what you deserve, because I don't feel like these schools deserve that. But you got to stop being the victim in this scenario, and you got to step up and be like, look, we're branching off if we don't get another seat at the table. Because right now they have no seats at the table, and once the group expands, once they let in 12 teams, they're only going to have one seat at the table. I mean, it just doesn't really seem right to me. So hopefully UC gets in. We'll find out on Tuesday if they do. Well, we'll find out if they're in the top four, because you had Michigan State lose. So you would think everybody will move up a spot. But I just got a funny feeling that UC is going to get played, and they're going to keep getting played in this scenario. So we'll see what happens. You got a Cincy fan talking with the LP? Be right back.
Hi, I'm Princess and I'm Queen. This is Daddy.
You have to say, and this is a Cincy fan talking with LP.
And this is a sensitive friend talking with LP Daddy.
Nice job.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to a Cincy fan talking with LP. And of course, this is LP. And Green Bay's quarterback just went off the rails. It was crazy. I actually sat back and listened to that entire interview. And halfway through the interview, I'm like, damn, this will make a real good Saturday Night Live skit. I could see this. I could see this during the cold open. I could really see it happening. And the more he talked, the more I knew that the folks at SNL was just gearing it up. They was just setting everything up. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. I don't know if it was cold open or not, but I figured they was gonna do it. I mean, just what he was saying, like the words he was using. I mean, once you start hitting folks with all the stuff he was talking about, you pretty much see it happening. You can see it coming pretty much out of left field. I mean, my man using words. He woke mob, cancel culture, anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, calling the NFL reps stooges. Once you start hearing that stuff, you know you got the makings of an epic interview. It was wild. It really was. Even if you're an Aaron Rodgers fan, even if you're an anti-vax person and all that, you had to listen to that. I mean, if you were going like yup, yup, then I hate to say it, but you kind of sort of part of the problem. Real talk. And for me, and this is just me personally, the fact that he doesn't want to take the vaccine is way down on the bottom of the list of things that people are upset about. And that's what folks don't understand. And this has been the theme since the beginning of time. It's not the lie, it's the cover up. And people will be like, what is he covering up? Think about it. You ask this man to his face, is he vaccinated? And he says, I'm immunized. That's the beginning of the cover up right there. And what folks hate more than liars are people who cover up the lie. Like you wonder to yourself a lot, how can somebody take their spouse back when they cheat? Or how can you be okay with that person next to you when you know they lied to you? And from my years and years and years of living, I think I figured it out. That person probably didn't get caught lying. They didn't get caught cheating or anything like that. They probably was like, you know what? Sit down. I got something to tell you. And they said what they did. And it was like, look, I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not asking you to forgive me or anything like that. I'm just like, this is what I did. And I can't live with the fact that I did that and you not know. Like, that's what I feel like happens with all of these couples and these work relationships and stuff like that. At some point the person goes like, this is what I did. I'm not asking you to accept it. I just want you to know that I messed up and I'm just gonna go out my merry way. And the other person is probably super duper upset and they're like, look, I can't believe you did that, but at least you told me. Let me go ahead and sort my feelings out. I'll get back to you. And at some point they work it out. That's what didn't happen here. Like when you get caught lying and you either tell more lies or you say I didn't lie, that's 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 what makes people upset. I mean, just think about it. Think of all the times you were lied to or something happened to you where somebody deceived you, and think about what made you feel better about it. Did you feel good about it if you caught them? And then they were like, "Nah, I like the thing they say in the movies all the time. It's not what it looks like." Really? So not only are you lying to me, but my eyes are lying to me too. Like everybody's lying to me. And I can't trust anything now. Like really? Like that's like my favorite line in a movie. No, it's not what it looks like. Like you butt naked right now with the girl in the bed. Like how is it not what it looks like? Very rarely is a situation like that not what it looks like. It's usually always what it looks like. You think about all of the big scandals in American history, and they normally started with somebody telling a lie, and they tried to cover up that lie, and they tried to cover up that lie. And at some point, you run out of things to cover up and you get busted. I feel like a good liar is a really scary person because not only do they know how to lie, but they know how to like tell lies on top of the lies and cover everything up. That's I think that's what makes me a horrible liar because I could tell the lie and then completely bungle the third and fourth lie, and then somebody be like, "Well, I thought you said dun dun dun." It's best for me to just tell the truth straight up because I don't have the patience or the skill to just like lie for like 25, 30 separate times. I can't do it. In this situation, what we're all upset about Aaron Rodgers is we're all upset that you could see the cover up taking place. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I couldn't root for Houston in the World Series. You can't lie and then say, "No, we didn't cheat," and then get caught cheating and go like, "No, no, we learned from our mistake." How? Like nothing happened to you. What did you learn from? You got a World Series. Like you got a World Series ring. You just learn how to cover up the lie next time. In this case, you can't you can't deceive people and then go like, "Well, I didn't say that. What I said was this." Like we're not crazy. We understand what happened in this situation. What we really would want is for him to go like, "I said this. I should have said this. I messed up. That's my bad. Please don't punish my team for something that I did because I don't feel like that would be cool. But do what you got to do." America in general looks very favorably upon people who do some messed up stuff and then go like, "Man, I did some messed up stuff." America, I won't say they like that, but they're cool with that because on one scale, we understand that almost everybody does that. They'll do something dumb. They may say something dumb or something out of turn. They may lie to protect somebody's feelings, or they may lie to try to protect their family members or something like that. And then they'll say, "Hey, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I hope people learn from me and they don't do that. I'm willing to take whatever punishment I get because I deserve that. I messed up." America's cool with that. The uproar happens, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you lean on, left, right, center, whatever. America really doesn't like when they have to dig up the lie. We don't like that. Usually, that's where the most punishment comes from. The fact that you told a lie or you typed out an email that was absolutely positively horrible or something like that, and then we got to dig it up. that's that's like the worst case scenario for bouncing back. Unless you got a lot of talent, in which case your fan base will forgive you and it's all good. And I'm not saying that in Green Bay's case. I'm saying that in anybody's case. Any star quarterback, everybody else is mad at the guy except that fan base. And then at some point, everybody kind of goes like, "Ah, you know what? He can really play ball, so let's just forgive him." Which is like what I feel like will happen here. But the main thing that I got from this is American. It doesn't matter what the issue is. It doesn't matter what side of the what side of the debate you lean on or anything like that. At some point, people in power have to realize that the cover up is what gets you. I'm surprised that people haven't learned that from, I don't know, all the books in the history of the world, like from all the people that got in trouble from trying to cover up some dirt. At some point, you got to realize that your lie pales in comparison to what you have to do to cover up that lie, because the cover up leads to more and more and more lies. And people just don't like being lied to. We don't. In general, getting lied to sucks because it makes you believe a thing. And in this case, it was kind of dangerous because you got all of these people around Aaron Rodgers and he's not vaccinated. But he feels like he's good because of all of the other stuff he was taking. But really, he's not good. And that's a dangerous thing. I mean, if it was me in that situation, I'd be quite upset because what folks are kind of shushing under the rug is all of these people that he's around, they have families, they go to schools, they go to church. So this virus is killing people. And what you can't do is duck off the fact that you may have it and you may be giving it to other people unknowingly. That's a really scary thing. And I hear people going like, well, if you're vaccinated, then it really shouldn't matter. We're vaccinated from the flu, but we still get the flu. It's supposed to make it so that it doesn't hurt you as much. That's what the vaccine is. There is no cure for a virus. I've never heard of a virus with a cure, ever. But I've heard of being able to take things to lessen the impact of the virus. That's what we have here. So if people aren't taking it and they're not protecting other people, then I mean that's a very scary thing. And we have a right to be upset about it. Just like other people say they have a right to not take it, we have a right to be upset if you're not taking it and telling us that you're good. That's not cool. So everybody be safe out there. Wear your mask, get the shot. I say definitely get the shot. We're going to get our kids the shots hopefully this week. So that's our thing. And if you're doing a different thing out there, you got to keep everybody else safe. You got to be masked up. You can't just be out here like, well, you're good. So, nah, we all got to be safe out here. I mean, it's our duty to protect ourselves and to protect the people that we care about. I mean, if you're not doing that, I mean, it really doesn't matter what you believe in. That's just kind of messed up. Now we're gonna go ahead and jet up out of here for this week. You know where we at, same bad time, same bad channel. But until then, as I always say, life is good. Peace out. If you're not ready for the conversation to end, I'm not either. Make sure to catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. Leave off the G at the end of it, and we can keep the conversation going. Also, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button so you can catch the next episodes. The episodes will drop every Tuesday. If there's a change in that, I'll make sure to let you know. Appreciate the support. As always, life is good.